In the heart of ancient Rome, beneath the shadows of grand architectural marvels, was a bustling artist's quarter. Amidst them stood a humble workshop owned by Lucius, a sculptor of unparalleled skill but little fame. Though his fingers breathed life into marble, making it weep and laugh, his own life was marred by tragedies. He'd lost his family to a plague, was burdened by debt, and bore the physical agony of a withering leg, a cruel reminder of a childhood accident. One day, a young apprentice named Callias, wide-eyed and full of dreams, came to Lucius seeking mentorship. As days turned to weeks, Callias noticed that despite the master sculptor's suffering, Lucius never spoke a word of his pain, never sought sympathy, but poured every ounce of his emotion into his craft. Intrigued one evening, Callias mustered the courage to ask, "Master, your art is filled with so much emotion, so much pain, yet you never speak of your sufferings. Why?" Lucius, his eyes reflecting the wisdom of years, replied, "All men suffer, Callias, but not all men pity themselves. If I drowned in self-pity, I'd be blind to the beauty around me, to the laughter of children, the hues of the setting sun, the tales whispered by the wind. Instead of lamenting the past or fearing the future, I choose to shape the present." Their conversation was interrupted by a royal decree. Emperor Marcus Aurelius himself had commissioned Lucius to create a statue embodying the spirit of Rome. As Lucius and Callias worked side by side, the young apprentice watched the master closely. Lucius, with every chiseled stroke, poured in not just his pain, but his hope, resilience, and undying spirit. Months later, the grand unveiling took place. The statue wasn't of a mighty warrior or a revered god, it was of a common man, standing tall despite the visible scars on his body, eyes gazing forward with hope. The inscription at its base read, "All men suffer, not all men pity themselves." The statue became legendary, not for its magnificence, but for its message. It inspired legions going to battle, comforted those in despair, and gave hope to countless souls. Years later, as Lucius's time drew near, Callias, now a master in his own right, whispered, "Your legacy isn't just in the statues you've carved, but in the hearts you've touched." Lucius smiled. "Remember, Callias, it's not our sufferings that define us, but how we rise from them." In essence, in the bustling artist quarters of ancient Rome, Lucius, a talented but under-recognized sculptor, bore the weight of personal tragedies. Yet, rather than succumbing to despair, he channeled his emotions into his art, transforming pain into beauty. His philosophy, encapsulated by the belief that all experience suffering but one needn't drown in self-pity, profoundly influenced his apprentice, Callias. When commissioned by Emperor Marcus Aurelius, Lucius created a statue that epitomized resilience, depicting a scarred yet hopeful common man. This statue, embodying the Stoic philosophy, left an indelible mark on Rome. Lucius's legacy reminds us that it's not our hardships, but our response to them that defines our character and impact. If you like our stories, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more thought-provoking, insightful stories.